So in this video, we're going to learn how to rotate a shape on a coordinate plane. You have to be very careful because there's two ways to rotate a shape or a figure. It's either clockwise or counterclockwise. When you rotate it clockwise, you would rotate once is 90 degrees to the right, twice is 180 degrees to the right, 3 times to the right is 270, and all the way around would be 360, but you'll never see that because that means the shape just goes back to where it was. Counterclockwise is going to be to the left. So 90 degrees is 1 time, 180 is twice, 270 is 3 times to the left, and then all the way around is 360, but that's not going to matter because you're not going to probably ever use that because then the shape goes back to where it started. So what we're going to do is you have to really read the rules because that is going to tell you where you're actually rotating the shape and then which direction and then at what point you're actually going to put your pencil at. So this one, the rule is 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. That means I have to shift it to the right 1 time, and then I'm putting my pencil at 0, 0 because that's the origin. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to label all the points. So I have A is at 0, 4. I have B is at 3, 5. I have C is at 3, 1. And I have D, which is at 0, 0. So now what I'm going to do is that you want to use this patty paper, and you need to make sure that it lines up, it's straight across at the top, okay? I'm going to trace my points. So I have A, I have B, I have C, and I have D, and I want to make sure I label, and then I'm going to draw my shape. So now, because it says 90 degrees clockwise about the origin, I'm going to put my point on the origin. Now in this case, D is actually on our origin, but we always put our pencil where it's asking us to put it. So in this case, I'm going to rotate it, so clockwise, so I have to go to the right 1 time, and I got to make sure my paper lines up and is straight again. So because I rotated it 1 time, I'm going to do that one more time. It's 90 degrees clockwise, so I'm going to rotate it 1 time. Notice that my paper is straight, okay? And now I'm going to line up and I'm going to put where my points landed. So D prime actually lined up at 0, 0. A lined up, if you can look through the paper, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So lined up at 4, 0. B lined up at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 1, 2, 3. And C lined up at 1, down 1, 2, 3. Okay, after I'm done writing my points, I'm now going to actually go back and put my points down on paper. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's A prime. I have B prime is at 5, 1, 2, 3. I have C is at 1, -3, 1, 2, 3. And then D prime, you can just retrace and put D prime. So now I just rotated my shape 90 degrees clockwise. The next one I'm going to do is I have triangle ABC has vertices 1, 0, B is 3, 3, and C is 5, 0. What's nice is that they gave you those points, so you just have to rewrite them. And it says rotate the triangle 180 degrees. Now I changed this because I don't want to do about the origin. I want to do about vertex A. And vertex A is at 1, 0. So you might have to, it might say about the origin where you would put your pencil on the origin, or it would say at 1, 0 where that's where you're going to put your pencil. So again, 180 could actually be to the left twice or to the right twice because 180 is going to get you back. the same thing. So that's why it doesn't say clockwise or counterclockwise, but you're going to move your paper twice. So you're going to have to rotate your paper twice about this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper, and you can use the same patty paper, it doesn't matter. And you're going to do the same thing as you did before. You're going to do A, B, C. Okay. And then because it says the vertex A, this is where I'm going to put my pencil. Not on the origin, because that's what it would have said before, but on point A, so on the vertex A. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees clockwise. Notice my paper's straight. I have to rotate it twice. So this would be right here. Do you notice my paper is straight on the top? That would be 90 degrees. So right now, if I were to trace my shape, that would be at 90 degrees clockwise, but I want to go 180. So I'm going to do it one more time. Now I'm going to pull down my paper a little bit so you can see, but notice my paper is straight at the top, and that's how I notice I rotated it 180 degrees. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to write down my points. So A is going to stay at the same point because of the fact that that's where I rotated it around. B is actually at 1, 1, 2, 3. B is at -1, -3, and C is at 1, 2, 3. So at -3, 0. Okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to trace at A prime, -1, 1, 2, 3. This would be B prime, and then 1, 2, 3 would be C prime. So the kind of like the goal of this is that you always have to look at what your rule is, and then that's where you're going to put your pencil, and then that tells you how many times you're going to actually rotate the shape. So now you notice that I rotated this shape twice, which is 180 degrees, and I used my point A as that was my point that I was actually rotating around. It might say about the origin, it might say vertex B, C, whatever that is, and that's going to help you get to that point.